There's one thing that pretty much everyone needs from photography more than anything else, a headshot. Now, headshots are going to be crucial because it shows off the best side of you and is also one of the first impressions that you get online or at an event or wherever your photo is being shown. So it is absolutely crucial to get a few characteristics in your headshot to make sure it is the best possible showcase of you. And in this video, I'm going to give you a few different ideas or tips to implement in your headshot to make it better, to make it more visible, and just to make it, and overall to make it the best version of yourself. So let's start off with actually taking the picture itself. Now, this is something that you have to remember, that it should showcase yourself. So if you're doing a corporate headshot or something more business professional, then you'd want to dress accordingly. Dress in a suit, dress in business attire. That's something that you will want to have to make sure that it is looking professional and looking nice. Make sure there's no dust or lint or anything like that. And also make sure it is a nice color that complements your outfit. Along with that, let me get into the next part, which actually is about color or even your skin color. Now, many of you may think that skin color may or may not matter in this, but trust me, it actually does. And I don't mean that in any other way other than you need to optimize your outfit and your actual look and the photo itself. Certain skin colors will do better on certain backgrounds and certain outfits. So some that are usually really good and universal backgrounds that are good are black and white because they work with many different skin colors. Ideally, if you are lighter skinned, you'd want to have a darker background because you pop out more on the background and you are more visible. If you're darker, then obviously go the other way, go a lighter background. That'll make it more visible for you and you will look way better when people see your headshot and you look different. Just so you can get an idea of how this example works, look over here so you can see the example that will show the different contrast of skin color and the background and get an idea of why this works so well. Now, another thing is make sure to obviously have nothing distracting in the background. Ideally, you'd want to have a nice plain background because it showcases nothing else except you. You can obviously put things in the background which are going to be, you know, very blurred out and things like that. That's something that you can do, but I do recommend not doing that just so you don't have any distractions and making your headshot potentially worse because of it. Now, this is something that photographers will obviously know, but you also want to have a good camera to do it. Either if you're doing it yourself, that's one thing, or if you are having someone do it, then obviously make sure it is a really good camera. I don't recommend doing this on a phone just yet because although phones are great and you can do it in a pinch, it is something that's not going to get you the best results because these cameras are still not like cameras. Not going to have the same depth of field. They're not going to have the same capabilities and the same blur or the same effect. It might look good artificially, but trust me, when you get the actual natural one, you get the best possible result really easily. Some other things to keep in mind are framing or posing. Now, this is something that you really want to keep in mind because if you're more of a happy person, someone who's very eccentric, bubbly, etc., then you might want to show that. You might want to have a smile or something that shows your funny side or your wild side or something like that. On the other hand, if you are someone who's more serious, maybe have something that's more staring it right into the camera, like a harsh glare. Okay, maybe not that pose, maybe like, or if you want to do some side eye, you could do a thing like that. I'll put some examples on screen so you can see. There are many examples that will show you how to get this really cool lighting, the cinematic look that will give you the best look for this headshot. You don't always have to have the classic white background headshot, which is just a simple pose that you might get in like a high school picture or something like that. That's something you can do and have something interesting to show. If you are creative, you can do something different as well. Now, for me, I have this over here, which is a two-toned color, which I really like. And why I chose this is because it's a different look compared to many other people. So it sticks out. And especially because red sticks out. If you don't know color theory, it sticks out really easily and your eyes naturally gravitate towards it, meaning it just makes it easier for people to visibly look at. I also liked it because it has basically nothing in the background because it was a wall. So it looked really good. Now you can see that I am posed slightly differently than some people's typical headshot. Now, again, you can pose however you want and however you are directed. But one thing I do recommend is not going flat face, like straight on. You can do this, but some people are not exactly symmetrical. Some people may not look the best that way. It's not going to be the best look for some people. And another thing is don't go fully sideways either. So when I mean fully sideways, I mean like this. Do not go fully sideways, because that's gonna not show people your other half of your face. It just looks kind of odd and maybe looks artistic in some way, but for the majority of people, it will not work and it just honestly doesn't look that great. If you have at least a 45-degree angle or like the side angle, so like just like this, so you get a little bit of this side and you get a little bit of the middle, so you can see maybe just a little bit of the other eye over here. people will be able to get a really good idea, and many headshots will look like that as well. You will see that they're slightly angled off center because it looks a little bit better for most people. And you can see the majority of the face. Now, this one is a little bit subjective, but I do think many people fall into this. Your left side is usually your best side. Some people will know their best side, but if you are not sure about it, go with your left side because the majority of people somehow just look better on the left side. There's some statistic or there's some kind of thing I saw which just says that's the best way to do it. But again, go with your angle if you know it the best and if you have a specific angle that you like. And also do not putting any like text or information behind you because it's not going to be shown nearly as well in a headshot. Especially because most headshots are literally smaller than my palm. You're going to be able to see the majority of the information there. The only way you can get around this is if you want to hold something up. But then again, you are not going to be able to show your exact face. You're not going to be able to pose nearly as well. I don't recommend it, but if you want to go with it, by all means, go with it. Now, lastly, this might be something that you don't have to worry about if you're getting the headshot done by someone else, or if you are doing it yourself, or you are the one taking the picture for someone else. Try to edit it in a very natural way. So what I mean by this is that if you have seen many ads, like let's say the Justin Bieber ad where he was posing for Calvin Klein, or some other beauty ads, there were certain parts of that, there were certain parts of those ads, or like I said, the Justin Bieber one, which were heavily edited. And there's plenty of proof online, so I'll try to find some if I can. If not, then just search it up. You'll probably find something. But these ads are not exactly natural, so you'll see that certain aspects have been changed, and these are, again, not reality. Again, if you're editing it or not, have it natural. So things should look very, very similar to what they do in real life. Don't do all this face reshaping. Don't do all this other stuff. It's not going to look the best. And you're not, again, showcasing your natural look. So if someone is hiring you, someone's meeting you, and they come and see you in person and you look nothing like the picture, you are literally catfishing them. So, you know, that makes no sense to anything. And then also you are literally misleading someone. So what does natural retouching really mean? In the broadest sense is just make it look very lightly edited. So obviously you're going to change the colors a little bit. So most people will take it in a very dull color to make it better in post editing. So you're obviously going to have the colors look fairly natural. But when you actually have to change a few things, like maybe take off blemishes, maybe take off a unibrow or slightly reshape the face, that's fine because you are not doing much to change the appearance of someone. Once you start removing things like, you know, once you start removing a bunch of different things, like maybe a whole mole that really can't be removed for them or other things like that, people are not going to look the same, and like you just don't want to do that. It's something I don't recommend doing, but to each their own, right? So this has been a bit of more of a comprehensive guide on headshots and some big tips that I think are really useful to know when you're getting a headshot done or if you're actually doing the headshot for someone else. These are going to be pretty useful, and again, if you want to learn more, then look online or look at my channel. I'll have some more videos on photography, on other things related to this even. So if you want to learn more, then feel free to hit the like button, subscribe down below so you can see more of my videos. And if you have an idea for a video, let me know in the comments so I can make it, and I'd love to actually interact with a lot of you. If you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram or any other social media, it'll be right over here. Feel free to hit me up, and I'd love to interact with some of you. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you want to see another video, this one's really cool. I really recommend looking at it, and it'll teach you something. If you want to look at the channel, then look down here because there's going to be some really cool stuff over here to look at, and it'll teach you a lot. Hopefully you got some value, and see you in the next video.